Ready to go!
Alrighty guys, interesting video this one, and we're going deep into arm wrestling philosophy today. And this one is specifically something I want to float to you, sir, Mr. Devon Larratt, the ultimate philosopher of arm wrestling. As you guys might have known, I have been investigating what it is to be a short-armed arm wrestler as well as a long-armed arm wrestler, because I do believe, for me as a medium-sized arm wrestler, I inevitably face opponents both taller and shorter than me. And I was driving home from training tonight thinking about Devon's return to center concept with the hill and taking control of it, and I had a few thoughts. So I want to elaborate. And Devon, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Alright, so if you're not familiar with Devon's return to center concept, okay, so we have inside moves, outside moves. So outside, inside. Okay, now, initially, the objective is to claim the top of the hill. The man plants his flag on top of the hill. He has control. Now he is going to force his opponents down the hill, whether it be the inside or on the outside. As soon as he has control of his opponent and he's boxed them into that corner, he is going to return to center and take control on the other side, and eventually push his opponent off the hill, being victory. Now that was Devon's lesson in about 10 seconds. I think there's another side to the story. For me, being the man on the top of the hill and the concept of pushing your opponents down, returning to center, is only one half of the story. It is a great half of the story. It is the half of the story that often makes people pin themselves. I myself love making people pin themselves. And this concept of claiming the top of the hill and then returning to center and forcing your opponent down, in, out, taking control through good fundamental arm wrestling is a beautiful concept. However, for a short-armed arm wrestler, this diagram evolves. And I want to know what you think, Devon, about this concept. And I want to know, have you thought of it this way before? And if you haven't, what do you think? And if you have, what did you think? Okay, so this concept, as it is now, I believe is for the man who inherently has the best opportunity to get to the top of the hill. Okay, if I was to face a better, taller, low-hand top roller, for instance, claiming this strategy is going to be difficult. It's not impossible. There are plenty short-arm top rollers that are strong enough to claim the top of the hill. However, most often, if you are shorter than your opponent, more often than not, you're not going to be able to claim the top of the hill. But that doesn't mean you're out of the fight. Not claiming the top of the hill means you have to try to undermine the hill. Now, undermining the hill with outside moves, undermining the hill with inside moves. Okay, your job is to dig away at the hill, trying to undermine the hill. If at any point you completely undermine the hill collapses. Okay, so you can undermine the hill without ever getting on top of the hill. Picture this. Okay, if I'm against a low-hand top roller, he has claimed the top of the hill. My wrist, I can still post my wrist and have two options. I'm never going to get up on top of that hill, but with my wrist like this, I can, on the inside, attack there, or on the outside, still with my wrist gone, attack there. Inside, outside, constantly undermining the integrity of the hill that the man steps on. Now it's a race between the man who's trying to step on top of the hill to push me off and get me to fall away versus me trying to undermine the hill before he pushes me off. Now, this to me is short arm wrestling. It's side pressure arm wrestling. It's Todd Hutchings arm wrestling. And it's as viable an option as being the man on top of the hill. It's also, I believe, just as technical. Outside, inside, outside, inside, with this use of superior side pressure and arm power / back pressure, we can potentially win the match this way. We never need to get on top of the hill. Okay, of course these are interchangeable. You can be on top of the hill and then all of a sudden find yourself no longer on the top of the hill. But once you have the top of the hill, it's usual that you would keep it. Now, I truly believe that this is the same concept as Devon has always preached. Inside, outside, claim the top of the hill, control it, force people off. But I do believe that if you are a shorter arm wrestler, it is generally easier to access this style. And for you, Devon, Todd Hutchings is a great example of how he would have felt when he was pulling you. He didn't try to get on top of the hill. He tried to, with an outside move, because his wrist was pronated, even though it was back, his wrist was pronated, undermine your heel. And then when you forced him into a hook, he tried to undermine your heel on this side. And he probably, by the time you, Devon, forced him finally off, it was probably only this much of the hill remaining, so to speak. Anyway, arm wrestling for me is a beautiful thing. There's so much mastery that can be learned and translated from concept into your arm and hand. Knowing when to use this method versus this method against what type of opponent is truly what makes an arm wrestler great. Not only is it strength, there's so much combat. Alright, that's it in a nutshell. Devon, when I'm next with you, I would love to sit down and theorize on this one with you, hear what your thoughts are, man. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.
Yeah, that's a man!